Hey, what's up, guys? This is Marsha. Welcome back to Marsha Speaks. And basically, based off of the title, you guys will know that this is basically me having a free thought about what is going on in the 100 since this is the last season. And I'm just confused. I think we have consistently seen that throughout my reviews. I'm just confused as to what's going on this season because we only have 16 episodes and we're going into episode 5. So it's really not that much time. Currently, we just finished episode 4 of the time of this filming. So that just means that we only have 12 episodes left. And what are we wasting it on? I'm confused as to why they're just making it more intricate than it needs to be. Because it just feels more like a season finale right now instead of a series finale. Because there's so many things that happen throughout the series that I feel might still be left unanswered because of the route that they're taking, right? So clearly now it's too late for them to edit anything because A, COVID, and B, they already filmed everything to my knowledge, so they can't fix it. However, it kind of feels like they're just answering the questions that we had from last season, but what happened to all the questions we had from season 1 through 5? From season 1 to season 5. We literally don't have time for this. I kind of wish unless they do it in the second half of the season, where they kind of tie in some of the stuff that was happening in season 1 through 5 and explain that maybe they had something to do with the people and how they've been in and out of our stories without even us knowing. That'll be kind of cool, but I don't know. I don't want to give CW that credit. Not yet. Not yet. So, I just found that kind of interesting. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was like the social issues that were going on. So right now, this is after George Floyd. This is after all of the Black Lives Matter movements, the protests, the hot mess that the president's doing, all of that. So it was really interesting to me that last episode, what was the last episode? Not season 4, not episode 4, but episode 3, we kind of tackled how society treats criminals after they pay their dues and all that stuff. But I think we're like usual that 100 does a lot. They're gonna breeze right through it for the most part. So I just thought that was really interesting because yes, we're talking about. It was just really interesting that they brought up a social issue that I find interesting as well. Like, I don't like the way our society treats criminals after they've paid their dues and done their time. Because if you see a lot of, like, if you speak to a lot of people who have a record, most of the time they say it's because they either have somebody on the outside who will help sustain them once they, get out of jail, or because of the record that they have, be it something as small as a misdemeanor so as up as a felony, they can't get any type of real jobs because once you do a criminal background check, it's usually a wrap. So I just thought that it was kind of interesting that in this post-apocalyptic world, we're still facing, socioeconomic status issues. We've been seeing some of that throughout the series, but I'm just going to focus on this season and a little bit of last season because that's mostly what I remember and because it's fresh on everybody's mind. So I just thought that, I thought they'd be kind of better than this. And the other thing that I found really frustrating and is still on my heart is what happened last episode, which was they literally left Orlando behind. I was a little heartbroken that Orlando killed himself after the betrayal, to our knowledge, because we don't know for sure, but we're just going to take the guard's word for it, well, the leader's word for it. But, I just thought that by now we would have, and the same thing with Raven, I thought by now they make it sound like these are they're stuck between a rock and a hard place and they had to make this decision. But honestly, you really don't have to make this decision. Raven's choice, Echo's choice, kind of reminds me of what Clark did in the beginning of the series with the mountain people. Forgot the names. And why Jasper still to the last day kind of hated Clark. So I'm just kind of confused after seeing these people make these mistakes, make these hard decisions. You would think that you would have the opportunity at least to make it a little bit better or make a better choice. For Raven, I understand that she had to choose to like leave them there for the betterment of the group. But you could have at least told them that this is the sacrifice you're making, you know? Because yeah, they could have stopped, but you don't know that. Nobody knows that. She just went under the assumption that because they're criminals, they were robbers. So yeah, because they're criminals, they don't have any positivity in them. They don't see the bigger picture. Like, oh, these are just foot soldiers that are needed and can be sacrificed. But if it was any other person on the cast, you would have a problem. So it doesn't make sense. And the fact that, oh, the criminals, like, technically, you guys are all criminals. If we were back on Earth and before all the post-apocalyptic stuff happened, and y'all committed the same crimes, even in the name of surviving, you would still be deemed a criminal. So I don't understand how it's really that far off when you guys have done some of the same stuff they have done, especially Murphy. This is why I appreciate Murphy and why he's one of my favorite characters. Raven's up here, and then it's Murphy for me. But especially Murphy, because he doesn't have this air of I'm better than you. Mainly because he knows he's not. His protocol is cockroach. Like, I'm gonna make it to the end no matter what. So that's what I appreciate about him. His character is very authentic to himself. Like, I know what I am, and I know what I'm capable of doing and what I'm willing to do in the name of protecting me. And once Emery came, mine. So I just thought that if anything, the least Raven could have done was tell the prisoners or ex-convicts that, hey, this is what's up. I can't let you out. You guys have to find a way to plug these gas leaks so that we can save your people. If you spin it in a way that will affect the people that they love, of course they're going to continue to work. Like, it's a no-brainer. And the other thing I thought was really interesting is the same thing. Echo made the same decision. She decided that, hey, Orlando's going to double cross us, so we have to double cross her. We have to double cross him first. I get that, definitely with the background that Echo has, but after 5 years of being with somebody, for us it's only been a couple minutes, a couple days, whatever, but after 5 years with Orlando, you're telling me that you don't think the least you could have done was incapacitate him after you get through the gateway, or before you get through the gateway, and then bring him through. That way when he is awakened, at least he'll be with his own people. We just had to leave him behind. Like, this is my annoyance. It's like, you don't really have to make these hard calls. There's always a better answer. And yes, it's probably because I guess you would say a hopeless, not romantic, like a hopeless optimist, but I really don't think I am. But I just feel like they have changed. Like, you had time with him. He has had time with you. Maybe if he doesn't, like, fully disagree with his beliefs anymore, you could at least use his knowledge once you get on the other side. So I just feel like what they could have at least done was get him out and then kill him. And then the other thing I don't understand about this plan, because what's his name? Orlando was part of it, was they tied him up and then they were going to use him as bait. But it also makes me wonder, did they switch up the plan last minute? I was under the assumption that Orlando would be part of this, that he would help incapacitate his people and get them through. But maybe at the last minute, they would have been betrayed him. Like, when we found him tied up on that pole, maybe that wasn't the plan. The plan was probably, like the guard said, for Orlando to meet them at the jump point, and then they kind of like subdue his people and they go through the gate themselves. But Echo then could have stopped, like changed that plan last minute and put him on the pole. But even that doesn't make sense either, because Echo seemed like they changed the plan because Hope killed one of the guards. So are you saying that him being tied up was part of the plan? And if that's the case, why did you guys say that he'll be by himself forever if he has other people that are just incapacitated? Like, I'm just wondering, did this bomb really kill them, or did it just, leave them unconscious? But if it really killed them, then it just proves my point that Orlando was betrayed from the beginning. And that is what I'm saying. Like, we keep on saying season after season that, oh, they had to do this, they had to do that, they had to make these hard calls. And this is the last season. I would just think that by the last season, we would have learned from Clark's mistakes. We would have learned from Bellamy's mistakes. We would have learned from everybody's mistakes. Sorry, my sister just came home. So, essentially, what I'm saying is that I just expected more from them by the final season. This is season 7. I think they knew that this was the last season. Comment down below if they knew, but I'm pretty sure they knew that this was the last season. So I thought they would have just wrapped it up a bit better, in the sense that we kind of see the people that we loved throughout these 7 seasons kind of learn from their mistakes and the mistakes of others and make better choices, and it's not happening. And that's what's the most frustrating part, because eventually we have to evolve. Like, eventually the answer, oh, we're doing this for survival, is not enough. And that's what I'm asking. When will it become that point where we finally change trajectory and move to a different direction, you know? Clark said it really well, and I don't know if it's episode 2 or episode 3, but she was saying how I used to think that worrying is what we do, but now I'm beginning to think it's who we are. And I really do see that very much so now. So I'm like, come on, guys. I'm just frustrated. I don't know what else to say. I'm just very frustrated and disappointed in the choices that the writers are saying that these characters are making. Even with certain stuff that I like to death, like we're gonna bring back the Raven point. They could have given the ex-convicts autonomy to choose, not even to choose because they really have a choice, but to be part of the choice to save their people. Because by the end of it, they knew that they were being sacrificed. And the thing that you could tell the thing that they really wanted was for you to say thank you. For you to see that the sacrifice that they made is of value. And that's the problem. That's what they don't do. They are very heavy-handed, very superior in their thought process, and it's very annoying. So it's my little 12-minute, 13-minute spiel. That's all I have to say for you for this topic for now. I think I'm gonna do a couple more of these sidebar from the reviews videos in 4-episode increments. I don't know why, but I just picked every 4th episode. So I'll see you guys for this type of video after episode 8. Comment down below if you guys are just as frustrated as I am, or if you guys can defend what their decisions are. Do you think I'm being too optimistic? Do you guys think that I'm not really fully understanding the pain and the choices that they made? I see Raven has not decided, but I see Raven is very remorseful for her choice, and I don't think it's the same with Raven not giving the ex-convicts at least the participation to choose or be part of their future. And when she decides to kill those 8 guards that had their guns pointed at her people. These are 2 different things, because one was more so, I have control over the situation and I can choose to give you information, and the other one is a split-second decision. I understand these are 2 different things, but I just wish when they have the control and they have the information and the resources to make other decisions, they do it. Instead of saying, oh, it's because we have to do this for our survival. I'm just sick of the excuse of we're doing this for our survival, because you guys have survived. 6 seasons, you guys have survived. Let's come up with another excuse for why we are making decisions for other people. That's it. That's all I want. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you guys what y'all thoughts are. Do you guys think that I'm just being too nice, that I don't really fully understand the life or death situation that they're in? But I've literally seen these characters since episode 1, which I just rewatched, and it was actually pretty trash, to episode 7. And there has been growth, but that underlying superiority has consistently been there, and it hasn't changed. The only people that's changed was Jasper and Monty. But they weren't really making big decisions anyways. So, and when they were, I believe they made the right choices. So that's my irritation. Love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.